Our talk is the Regional Tribal Operations Committee. We are a committee of 11 elected representatives in the states of Alaska, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington.
And I'm here to assist these wonderful people in telling your stories. They're also training me so I can then reach out to more of you and help you guys compose your stories and get them out into the world.
Wow, good morning. It's so good to see so many friendly faces. It's nice to be here, and I welcome you to the Regional Tribal Leaders Summit. Hopefully there are things that you can share with us over the next couple of days. Hopefully there'll be things that you can learn and take back. And there's a loud message that we need to really keep in our mind that the folks in DC need to understand is that we were here first, we're here now, and we'll be here in the future. It is who we are. We are the caretakers of our lands.
The media likes to make this big, huge chasm of how divided the country is. But when you actually sit down and talk to people, we really are not that far apart. Just win people over one at a time, if that's what it takes. And you just do it every day. And like Billy Frank said, we got to tell our story. And he told his story for 80-some years, and he kept telling it. And he never stopped. And I know a lot of you are already doing it. And I appreciate all your commitment to protecting your natural resources and your treaty resources in your own homelands. And it's a big responsibility that we've inherited from our ancestors, because they did all they could to preserve what they could and pass that down through generation to generation. It'll be her job here pretty soon to get up here and speak and talk about the importance of what her elders have taught her. So with that, welcome to Suquamish. Thank you for coming here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day.
The objective of this summit is really to gather the voices of the tribes in our region.
The Tlingit wealth, we protected our resources, we protected our land, and we realized that the wealth that we had was demonstrated by the amount of things that we didn't touch. So we were able to take care of those things and harness all of those resources to the most benefit.
You guys are in charge of protecting the environment, which for us is not just the natural resources, it's cultural, it's our life, our way of being, really, it's our essence. And so I was wondering if you guys have internally discussed strategies, whether economic or otherwise, to sort of combat the general trends that are happening right now and ensure that you're protecting our treaty rights that are guaranteed to us.
Because a lot of what's happening with the mines and stuff, everything that they do does affect tribal land. The water monitoring, water quality, stuff like that, they let the mines do it on their own. And many times it's found out after the fact that they haven't been monitoring right, and now the land's going to be contaminated and the fish streams are going to be destroyed. Many of the same things that have happened down here in the Northwest, we fear are going to affect us in Alaska in the same way.
Well, the importance of our talk and the partnership with EPA is the forum that it provides the tribes with to talk about the issues that affect them back in their home territories and look at the similarities between the issues that we're all facing.
Many of the EPA programs being cut will impact tribal communities across the United States. The recent shift of power transforms the agency's mission from protecting our natural resources and public safety to eliminating regulatory hurdles. Many programs created in partnership with EPA to increase sustainability in Native communities have been gutted as industry insiders peel away federal regulations created to protect us from polluters.
I don't know how to better say that storms are happening more. The intensity of those storms are increasing. It's affecting coastal communities in Region 10. Erosion's a big problem. We have a couple villages in Alaska that are looking at relocating because their lands are being consumed by the ocean. It was called climate change. It can't be called climate change now because the administration that we're teaching now doesn't believe in climate change.
So why was climate change verbiage eliminated from EPA documents? Maybe because impending cuts take away virtually all funding related to protecting vulnerable communities from sea level rise and warming temperatures. In Region 10, this means cutting restoration funding from Puget Sound and killing sustainable water quality projects. EPA is also getting rid of a program that would enforce federal regulations on underground petroleum storage tanks. The National Estuary Program is gone, and infrastructure assistance was stripped from Alaska Native villages. Still, those that make up the Region 10 Tribal Committee remain hopeful.
The Native tribal historically knows and live on that river, and they should be involved in any development or any potential catastrophe that could happen from development.
In our region, in the Upper Columbia United Tribes, the Tech Metals case gave the EPA the ability to enforce U.S. regulations on the Canadian smelter.
They're fighting for the next 7 generations. They're fighting for their children.
That's kind of a more regional specific question, but secondly, a lot of our programs will be impacted by climate change, and I'm wondering what are some of the tactics that you intend to use to get through some of that attitude, the resistance against climate change, especially with the new administrator not actually believing the science behind climate change.
I think, in fairness, the administrator, what he has been described as more of a skeptic about is what are the causes of climate change, not so much whether climate change is. So it's not that climate change isn't part of our vocabulary, it's a question of what is EPA's role in addressing it and how much of that is something that there's a regulatory answer to.
I really believe that we can be better as a country. I believe that we as an agency and we as a nation can be both pro-energy and jobs and pro-environment. That we don't have to choose between the two.
As far as water quality, water temperature, it's getting to a point where the fish are reaching that threshold for survivability.
The natural resources of shellfish and salmon and the plants and berries and animals that we've subsisted on are the same, and we all have a duty to be able to protect all of those.
Western society and Western culture could stand to learn something from the indigenous people of this nation about what we actually feel and what our blueprint is on caring for Mother Earth.
We're trying to protect the health of everybody. It's not only our state, but it's a global thing too.
After the war, we're giving this land back to you. But the broken promises and the forked tongue, see? And so now they took that, it's another surplus act, and put it, Pocatello has the airport now. I'm going to be flying back to it tonight at 11 p.m. It's going to be a long day of travel. But, all these things, the same things happening everywhere. Might makes right, and then, we got to get some way to fix it. And at the same time, we can't eat our fish. The 17 Superfund sites, and there's coming into the river. There's one river called Portland that starts on our reservation. Bangui Doi, we call it, and then the trout come out. Then there's another one in Blackfoot. The Snake River starts in Wyoming, it comes through there. Then all them, the toxic waste, some of it seeps. It's like a blood vein. It goes in there, then it causes sickness, disease, and it's going into the Snake River.
It is in our best interest that EPA continue to relegate our nation's best ideas with a balanced focus on the environment and the economy. Ignoring the needs of our planet or our economic future could be catastrophic. Administrator Pruitt recently quoted John Muir in saying we all need beauty as well as bread. That is, we require places to play in and places to pray in.
I truly believe that things are happening, and it's only going to get worse unless we do something about it now. And I really firmly believe it's the indigenous people of the world that's going to save the world, because it's inherent. We were taught, we were brought up to respect the smallest insect, to respect the smallest plant, to only take what we need and to share with others when it comes time to do that. We know there's something going on. And for those who don't know what's going on, open up your eyes, open up your ears. It's happening, folks. It is really happening. And we need everybody to be on the same plate, at the same page, at the same table to get it done. It's not going to happen with one or two. For us in the Pacific Northwest, 271 nations need to come together, as well as 4 states. For the entire country, 566 tribes in 50 states have to come together to take care of the U.S. Not one person can do it. We all need to do it. We all need to do it together, and we need to do it now.
I seek to ensure that we engender the trust of those at the state level, that those at the state level see us as partners in this very important mission we have as an agency and not adversaries. So federalism is something that's important, process is something that's important, and obviously rule of law is important as well as we do our business.
As this administration supports the bedrock of federalism established by our founding fathers, it's equally important that we recognize the myth of superabundance, which led to the destruction of many indigenous cultures.
We really try to build upon the relationship and work with the United States Environmental Protection Agency as a partner.
To protect the land, the resources, what we all hold near and dear are our traditional ways.
How can you be of help? What is it that you know that we don't? And how can we work together to achieve common goals?
All you need to do is record your story and show it in pictures or little video snips. And once you put it all together, it can be an extremely influential and impactful statement.